The CIA and FBI were aware of the growing threat from bin Laden and were monitoring his activities through a secret unit known as Alex Station. By this time, 2 Saudis had already been selected for the suicide mission in Nairobi. Jihad Muhammad Ali and Mohammed Al-Awali were now preparing themselves for martyrdom. 2 weeks before the attack on the embassy, an Al-Qaeda explosives expert arrived in Nairobi and began assembling a bomb powerful enough to reduce the building to rubble. Al-Awali and Jihad Ali were reunited in the bomb maker's rented house 4 days before the attack. Together, they went through the details of the plan. Meanwhile, the cell in Mombasa, which had smuggled in the explosives, was ordered to disperse. Leaving wives and children behind, they quietly slipped out of the country. On the morning of Friday, August the 7th, Al-Awali and Jihad Ali set off in a truck loaded with explosives. Al-Awali was carrying a gun and 4 grenades. Ellen Boomer had been working at the embassy for just 4 weeks.
I can remember it as clear as if it was yesterday sometimes. I had my cappuccino. I did that every morning.
I used to work as a driver at the agriculture office of the U.S. Embassy, and I was getting prepared for a trip.
Naomi Karonga worked for the Kenyan government in the 22-story building right next door to the embassy.
That morning of 7th August, Friday, I was in my office in a cooperative house, 10th floor.
I was in the building across from the small parking lot that was in the rear of our embassy. I was speaking with the Minister of Commerce.
That morning, I was at the back gate of the embassy, the place where vehicles load and offload parcels.
When the truck pulled up at the back of the embassy, Al-Awali jumped out and asked the security guard to open the gate. The guard was suspicious and played for time.
I said, yes, I'll open the gate. That's my job. But I haven't got the keys at the moment. You'll have to go to the reception.
Al-Awali reached for his grenades.
It was just me and the driver. And we were both standing there, and we heard this loud.
We went to the window to see what is going on.
Most people got up and went to the window.
I said, what was that? And he said, oh no, let me look.
Stuck outside the gate, Jihad Ali decided the moment had come. The bomb ripped through the embassy and the high-rise cooperative building opposite. The office block sandwiched between them collapsed like a pack of cards. Over 200 died. Thousands were injured.
If you're in a building bombing, what happens is that the blast of the bomb comes through the building like a tidal wave. It breaks glass and forms like sabers and so forth, goes through, and some of the glass is so fine that it'll go through your clothes and embed in your body, but your clothes won't be torn.
I lost my consciousness. I didn't think anything. I raised up. I started to run around to find a way out, to find What is wrong?
Was thrown across the room, knocked out just momentarily. Seconds later, one of my American colleagues came rushing in and saying, "Ambassador, we have to get out of here." And we walked down 21 flights of stairs with hundreds and hundreds of silent, bleeding Kenyans who were utterly calm.
He was just trying to see how I can leave the building alive. And the one who really finished us most is the one who said, "There is fire."
Somebody shouted, "Hurry up, there's fire." And again, the human mind is an amazing thing. I remember thinking, seeing the smoke and thinking, well, at least I'm not going to burn to death. I'll die of asphyxiation.
You know there is fire. It's catching well. Am I in fire? Will I ever reach down? I mean, am I dead? Am I dying?
It was not until I got out of that building that I saw what had happened to the embassy.
Inside the shattered embassy, covered in rubble, Ellen Boomer was regaining consciousness.
I was laying like this on my back, and I tried to get up, and I couldn't get up. And then I thought, it was a bomb. It was a bomb. And then I thought, do I hurt anywhere? Am I hurt? Is anything hurt? And I thought, no, I don't feel any pain anywhere. Nothing's hurt. And then my next thought was, well, I can't see. And I thought, well, that's just momentary. That's going to pass. And then I thought, oh, well, it might not pass. And then I thought, okay, God, you can have one eye. Don't take both of them. You can have one. Let me have one, and I'll let you have the other one.
400 miles away, a second truck bomb exploded at the US Embassy in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. "12 people died, nearly 100 wounded."
I was shocked. I mean, I was really astonished by the tradecraft, by the skill with which these attacks had been carried out. You only had to look at the first pictures to recognize that this was a different kind of terror, that this was terror that aimed at mass casualties in a way that most previous attacks had not.
News of the twin attacks soon reached the man who'd interviewed Osama bin Laden only 10 weeks before.
I was on a fishing boat 70 miles off the coast of Montauk Point in New York, in the middle of the ocean, and my cell phone rang, and it was the news desk at ABC. They said 2 U.S. embassies have just been blown to bits in East Africa, in Tanzania and in Kenya. Well, what do you make of that? And they were trying to figure out what are the issues involving terrorism in East Africa, what are the groups in East Africa, what are the issues with those countries, and I said, no, it's not about that. It's about us. This is Osama bin Laden. This war that he declared on America, it just started.
Steve Gordon was an FBI agent with zero experience of terrorism. He was on vacation when the bombs went off.
I was actually at the beach, and my pager had gone off to call the New York office of the FBI. Not knowing anything about what was going on, I had no television or anything. So I respond to the page, and one of my workmates says, "You need to get into the office right away."
In Nairobi, Lee Reed and his team were desperately searching for survivors.
We had dug with our bare hands and some minor tools, knocking down doors, doing everything we could through areas where we knew people were missing.
Forcing his way through the rubble and carnage, Reed spotted a foot sticking out of the debris.
So we thought, well, this is either a body part or somebody that's dead, but you don't assume that. You have to dig them out because they could still be alive. And we dug and dug and dug, and we got down to his body.